Hello, and greetings from the Office of Study Abroad at Old Dominion University. We're glad that you are interested in studying abroad and hope that this information session will give you a good insight into what the process entails and what to expect from a program abroad. This session is provided online for those of you who may not be able to attend a session in person, but we do offer the session a couple times a week during the school year. And if you come to one of those, you'll have the opportunity to ask questions of a member of our staff. So if you prefer that, we do have a schedule on our website, so check that out. This session will give you an overview of the types of programs that ODU offers, how you can participate in those programs, application deadlines, financial aid, scholarships, etc. It'll also provide you an overview of what you might expect from a study abroad program through our office. So we're really excited that you are interested in pursuing an international experience and hope that this is just the first step on your journey. The Office of Study Abroad is located in Dragas Hall in Suite 2006, so that's on the second floor. And the building is located at the corner of 49th and Hampton Boulevard. You can also reach us by phone, and the phone number in our office is 757-683-5378. And our website is www.odu.edu/studyabroad. We're happy to talk to you, so if you need to get in touch, that's how to find us. Now you might be wondering what it's like to study abroad. This video that you're about to watch documents the experience of Catherine, who's a biology major here at ODU, and she spent a semester in Kenya and Tanzania. And you'll see why this experience was really unique in the video, but we hope it'll provide you a good sense of what kind of opportunities might be available when you study abroad. Your program will probably be pretty different, but this one's pretty exciting, and we like to share it with you guys so that you can kind of see the world of possibilities that are available on a study abroad program.
I'm a senior at Old Dominion University studying biology and minoring in statistics. And I became interested in wildlife when I was doing volunteer work in South Africa after my senior year of high school. And I was able to interact with the elephants and understood how wonderful they were and how much I wanted to dedicate my life to saving their species. I found the East African Wildlife Management Program on ODU's website studying wildlife management in Kenya and Tanzania, and it was the perfect match for my major, so I applied. When we went over to Tanzania, we spent a majority of the time doing our directed research. We were assigned to a faculty member, and he overlooked different topics assigned to each student. I was assigned elephant activity, and I studied their activity and their social patterns and their interactions. One of my favorite experiences was trying out the different foods of Africa. They did have a very simple food called ugali, which was just water and flour mixed together and heated up. And while we were at our homestay, we got to make ugali with our family. And then they made vegetables, and we put that together and we got to eat with them. They also greeted us with dance, and we were able to engage in dancing with the Maasai. Their style of dancing is very different. It's more up and down rather than side to side. And that was an interesting experience. But I recommend every student in every major studies abroad. It's a wonderful experience. It opens your perspective to the world. It opens your perspective to yourself. And it just makes you an all-over well-rounded person.
And now that you know what it's like to study abroad, at least with elephants, we'd like to give you an overview of the types of programs and how the process works here at ODU. We have programs all over the world in over 70 countries, and almost any major can study abroad. Now, if you're looking at our website and checking for programs specific to your major, you might have a hard time finding it depending on your major, but we usually can find something for you. So Even if you're looking at our website and don't see anything, but you're interested, come by our office and make an appointment, and we can usually find something that'll work to meet your interest and your needs. We do have 3 different types of programs, and we'll go into detail about those in the next couple of slides. But the first one is a faculty-led program, and these are ODU courses that take place abroad. The second type is an affiliated program. These are programs that are run by an outside organization, so not by ODU, but they're great and flexible, and they are offered all over the world in all different terms, so summer, semester, year long. The third way is an exchange, and these are partner universities that ODU has agreements with where you can go study for a full semester or a year. So the first type of program that we're going to talk about are ODU faculty-led programs. These are typically shorter term programs. Most run are 1 or 2 weeks, but some can be a little bit longer, especially those that go in the summer. It's basically an ODU course that takes place abroad. So you will go with an ODU faculty member and a group of ODU students and take your course somewhere else in the world as opposed to sitting in a classroom here in Norfolk. These classes are usually 3 credits. Some might be 5 or 6. Usually it's 1 course, but we do have a few programs that include 2 courses in a short amount of time. We run these during spring break and also the summer. The spring break ones tend to be a little bit shorter, but not much, and the summer ones can be a little bit longer. To get the 3 credits, you do have a few class meetings before you go. Then you've got your international experience, and then upon return you typically will have a project, final paper, or something like that. You can check out our website to see the most updated list of these programs, and that will be at odu.studioabroad.com, and the link is on the screen to the specific page for faculty-led programs. This is a list of the programs that we'll be running this spring break. And here's the list of our programs that we'll be running this summer. You'll notice between the spring break and the summer programs, there's quite a bit of variety, and we do try to offer programs from each academic college. Now remember, this is just the first way to study abroad, so if you're not seeing something on the screen that applies to your major or your minor or somewhere that you'd like to go, remember we've got 2 other types, and we'll talk about those next. So the second type of program that we'd like to talk about is an exchange. Now these programs are great for students who'd like to be abroad for a little bit longer, and they're typically a semester, but they can be year-long experiences too. An exchange is a partnership that ODU has with another university, and at the moment we have 17 partnerships around the world. So these are universities that you can go and you can take classes at for a full semester. You have access to the full catalog of classes, so classes that they offer, which usually match up pretty closely to courses that we offer. You can take as an exchange student. You'll also live on campus in most cases and really get to experience what life is like for a college student in another country. These programs are great, and we'll talk a little bit about why, but the main one is financially. You're actually going to be paying ODU tuition at the university. So say you'd be paying for 12 credits of tuition in Norfolk, you could be in Sydney, Australia, and the tuition would be exactly the same. Living costs are comparable in most cases, so if you're living on campus here, the cost of a dorm room at the host university is pretty comparable. You will have expenses such as meals and a plane ticket, and we'll work with you on a budget for these programs, but these are typically the most bang for your buck and most affordable options that we offer. And this is a list of our European exchange partners. We do have 4 universities in the UK, and these are Keele University, Leicester University, the University of Essex, and Oxford Brookes University. Those are great options because all of the schools offer all of their courses in English, so they match up really well with the coursework here at ODU. We also have 2 programs in Denmark. One is at Aalborg University, and the other is at Aarhus University. These programs are good for students who are looking for a little bit more adventure, but they do offer courses in English, particularly good for international studies majors, psychology majors, and business students. Our newest partner is in Ireland, and that's the University of Maynooth. Again, all the courses are in English, and it's a great way to study a lot of the same things that you'd be studying here at ODU, but just from a European or Irish perspective. And this list shows the partner universities we have in the rest of the world. We do have 3 partners in Australia. These are Deakin University, Edith Cowan University, and Macquarie University. These 3 universities also offer all of their courses in English and are, again, another really good match for most of the coursework here at ODU. So if you're interested in that part of the world, be sure to check these 3 universities out. We also have a new partner in Brazil at the University of Fortaleza, also known as Unifor, and this is particularly good for international studies or business students. They have a few classes in English, but if you're fluent in Portuguese, it's definitely a good option. We also have 2 very, very popular programs in Japan. One's at Kansai Gaidai University, and they have a full program for English-speaking students. So lots of classes focused on Asian and Japanese studies, but also business courses and history and political science and stuff like that available in English, as well as Japanese language. So those of you who are studying Japanese, this might be a really good fit. Asia Pacific University, also known as Ritsumeikan University, is located in Beppu, Japan. This one has a lot of courses in English. In fact, they offer almost all of your degrees in English, so most of you it's very possible to find the classes that you need at ODU, but in Japan. We have 2 really good universities in South Korea. Yonsei University, which is located in Seoul, is world-renowned and one of the top universities in the world and a very good fit for our students. A lot of courses in English and a lot of good matches between our programs, particularly business, Asian studies, international studies, political science, and things of that nature. Yangnam University is a little bit smaller university, but it's a great fit for Asian studies and business students, as well as international studies. We also have a partner in China. This is Peking University. It's the HSBC Business School, and this exchange is only available for MBA students. So if you are at the graduate level in the College of Business, be sure to ask us about this program. And the third and final way to study abroad is on an affiliated program. You'll remember from the beginning of the presentation, the program that Catherine participated in is an example of an affiliated program. So these are a wide variety and very diverse and flexible options. They offered in the summer, but they are also offered in first semester and year-long experiences as well. These are programs that are not managed by ODU, but that ODU has an affiliation with, and they're usually study abroad organizations and sometimes other universities that run programs that ODU students are allowed to participate in. They're available to students of all disciplines all over the world. So if we do not have an exchange or a faculty-led program available in the part of the world that you want to go to, an affiliated program is probably the best fit. And we work really hard to find a good match for your needs and your interests. The most programs do have classes in English. A lot are hybrids, which means so you would be in Spain taking Spanish language courses, but also being able to get content courses in English. So these are great in the variety of type and in different types of classes that they offer. Now on this one, as opposed to an exchange, you're not paying ODU tuition, and the program costs are set by the provider. So that means it could be significantly more expensive, but it's not necessarily the most expensive option out there. Some exchanges are more expensive than some affiliated programs. And as we said earlier, we work really hard to provide you with a budget so you know what you're getting into, and we can break down these costs so you know how much everything costs and how they compare against different types of programs. So now that I've convinced you that study abroad is an awesome opportunity, how do you know if you're eligible or not? There are GPA requirements for our programs. For faculty-led programs, you do have to be in good academic standing at ODU, which means you do need to have at least a 2.0 cumulative GPA here at Old Dominion. This does not include a transfer GPA or a GPA from a previous institution. For affiliated and exchange programs, you do have to have at least a 2.5 GPA, and in some cases higher. Some universities set higher GPA requirements, some programs set higher GPA requirements. But if you do have a 2.5, you will be allowed to participate in most of our opportunities. Class standing, most students can start participating in study abroad programs during the summer after their freshman year. You do have to be at least a sophomore to participate in a semester length program, meaning you do need to be a sophomore when you apply. So the earliest most students can go for a full semester is the second semester of their sophomore year. Transfer students, however, have a little bit of different requirements. You do need to be at ODU for a full semester before you can apply. So even if you come in and you're already a junior, you do need to complete one semester here at ODU before you can apply. And that's just so that we know what your GPA here is at ODU, and you do meet the GPA requirements. So we know studying abroad is fun, but there is an important thing to remember, and that is there is an academic component. There is study involved in study abroad. So a lot of the planning that goes into making this a real possibility for you will be in the academic part of it. One important thing to remember is how these credits impact your degree here at ODU. Any faculty-led program, as I said earlier, is an ODU course that takes place abroad. So the grade will show up on your transcript just like you took it on campus. You'll have a grade, it'll impact your GPA just like a regular ODU course. Now any other type of program, an affiliated or an exchange program, those credits come back here as transfer credits. So it does take some planning because your academic advisors and academic departments will work with you to help you get those courses approved before you go, so you know what they're going to count as. With a proper amount of planning, especially starting early helps with that, we can plan your semesters or your experience out so that you're getting credit for the courses that you need. When you pass those classes at the host university, you will receive credit here at ODU for the classes as they were approved before you left. The grade, however, will not appear on your transcript, so this also means it will not impact your ODU GPA. Now this means it won't help it, but it also won't hurt it, so I think that's a pretty good thing to have happen. The other thing to consider when students are studying abroad, most students do take upper level electives within their major and or their minor. It is occasionally possible to find general education requirements, but most of the time you're going to take classes that are more specific to your major or your minor, which also means they're going to be upper level classes, so third, fourth year classes in most cases. And it's really important to work with your academic advisor to make sure you're taking the right classes when you need to take them. And our office can help with that, but ultimately it is your responsibility and with the help of your advisor and your academic departments. So besides the academic component of study abroad, another big hurdle that most students find when trying to plan for a study abroad experience is the financial part of it. It is important to note that most financial aid that you do receive from ODU can be used on approved programs. So this includes scholarships, it includes grants, it includes loans. The only thing that won't work would be work study. And there are other types of aid that may be able to use as well, and this includes things like veterans benefits or through the GI Bill. We do work very closely with the Office of Financial Aid to make sure that this process is as seamless as possible, and we'll provide you with sample budgets along the way. So if we're looking at a program and you're concerned about the cost, make sure you're getting a sample budget from our office, and we can break down the program costs. If one is a little bit outside of your range, we can look at other programs. And with careful planning, we can usually find a program that fits most budgets. We think it's also really important that you know about the number of scholarships that are offered just for study abroad students. And just so you're aware, in the last 5 years, 65% or so of ODU students who have studied abroad have received additional scholarships in order to help them study abroad. And these are divided into a couple different categories. Most students receive the Dean's Education Abroad Award. For short-term programs, those range about $300, but for a semester program, those can be up to $1,000. So that's a great way that the university is supporting you, and those actually come from each academic college. We also have the Weiner Award. There's foreign language majors. So if you're a declared foreign language major with at least a 2.5 GPA, you do automatically receive a $1,500 scholarship. The College of Business has a specific scholarship, and the Department of Psychology actually has a scholarship just for psychology majors. So be sure to check those out on our website, and the link there is there on the top. There are national awards that ODU students are very competitive for, and we can help you work through those. Two big ones are the Gilman and the Boren. The Gilman scholarship is up to $8,000, and it's actually only available to students who are currently receiving a Pell Grant. So if you do have financial aid already, check to see if you're getting a Pell Grant, and you might be eligible to apply for that scholarship. There are many resources out there on study abroad funding. A lot of the affiliated program providers have their own scholarships, so make sure you're checking out those websites if you find a program you're interested in to see what kind of scholarships and financial aid the program offers. But then there's also a great website called studyabroadfunding.org, which is a list and catalog of all the different types of scholarships that are out there. Diversityabroad.com is another one. So check out those two websites to see if there's any additional scholarships you might be eligible for. As I've mentioned a couple times already, planning is really important in order to have a successful study abroad experience. And we've already talked about academic and financial planning, but just timeline-wise, it's important to remember that there are application deadlines. For the most part, a good rule of thumb is you're actually going to be submitting an application in the middle of the semester before you intend to study abroad. So that means if you're looking for a fall semester program, you're going to be applying in mid-February, so the middle of the spring semester before. If you're looking at a spring semester program, you're going to be applying in early October, which is the middle of the fall semester. Summer programs and fall programs are both, application deadlines are both in February. So be sure to keep that in mind throughout the planning process. We recommend that you start working the semester before that with our office so that we can have enough time to find a good program match for you, and you can get everything set in place. So you can look at and make sure you've got your finances in order and that you've done the academic planning so that you have a very successful program. So plan early and come into our office and make sure that you're on track. It's never too early to start planning. So now that we've talked about planning, what's the next step? For most of you, you should attend a group advising session. For those of you who are looking at a specific faculty-led program or were directed to this information session because you're already applying for one of these programs, you do not have to attend this session. But everyone else should attend because this will really help us narrow down our program database of 5,000 programs to one or two that might be a really good option for you. This will cover an introduction to our online database of programs as well as the application system, and have you provide us information so that when you're meeting with an advisor, we can better advise you. The big two things we'll talk about are academics and finances, as well as just the different types of program options that are available to you. It is important, if you can, to bring a laptop so you can work along with us during these sessions. The calendar is on our website, and we'll offer these a couple times a week, and you should expect it to take about an hour. But it's a very interactive session. You'll have plenty of opportunities to ask questions and work with us along the way as we're going through this next step. In addition to the group advising, there's a number of other steps you can be taking right now to help you plan and get abroad. The first of which is you can go to our website, odu.studioabroad.com, to look through our program database. Now there are 5,000 programs in there, so don't be discouraged or overwhelmed by the number of program options. It's our office's job to help you narrow it down and find a good fit, but you feel free to look through there and see if you can find any that you're really interested in. You should also be talking to your family, talk to your friends, see if anybody has any words of wisdom or experiences abroad that might be useful to you when you're planning your program. It's also really important to meet with your academic advisor. And at this stage, you probably should just mention that you're planning on study abroad, and that person can help you kind of map out your next few semesters and the classes that you're going to need to take both here and possibly be able to take abroad. That helps our office find a program where we can match up the classes that you need to the program abroad. We also have study abroad fairs twice a year. These are offered every October and February. So be on the lookout for announcements about those, but you can also check our website for the next date. The October fair will be really soon after the school year starts, and then the February one is at the beginning of February. So those are very exciting opportunities where you can meet with program providers, so representatives from the different organizations that we work with, but as well as students who have studied abroad or who are from abroad. Our exchange partners actually send students here just like we send students there. So those students will be at the fair and you can ask them questions about their experiences. It's a great and exciting way to spend an afternoon. So that's the end of the information session. I encourage you to stay connected with our office, and these are our 3 social media sites that you can connect with us on. We've got Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so connect with us there so you can keep updated on different options and different programs that we may be publicizing at any given time. And feel free to contact our office if you have questions. I hope that you know what your next step is, and that we'll see you at group advising, or if you're already applying for a faculty-led program, that we see your application and we'll see you in the office soon. Just remember, our office is here to help you through this process. It can be very overwhelming and seem like a daunting hurdle, but we're here to work with you throughout the process. So even if this information didn't clear anything up, keep moving along, and we're glad to help, and we hope that we can find a program that you're interested in and get you abroad in the very near future. Thank you for sitting through this session, and we hope that we've answered a lot of your questions and you have a better overview of what the study abroad process is all about. And we hope to see you in our office soon. Bye.